All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Again, I'm Didi Kai coming back for another amazing interview with this featured guest. And she also is a founder of a podcast called An Amazing Women Who Boss Up. But let me tell you a little bit about her and who she is before we get started in getting to know her even more through our interview today. She is an international speaker, trainer, best-selling author, and a host of the Working Women's Channel and Living Real TV. She is the founder and CEO of Capano Speaking and Training and creative of the CLARATY Success Method. Her passion is to help women in business redefine their relationship with time so they can work smarter and get more money, more time, and more life. Let me introduce you to the amazing Clara Capano. Clara, welcome to the show.
Well, Didi, thank you so much for having me here. And also just thank you for what you're doing to bring awareness to having us really, come together and share our truth so that we all can grow from it and become stronger. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. And I really do appreciate that. It does get hard sometimes on some days. So to have you share that feedback means a lot to us. So thank you very much. So today's all about you. So let's start with Clara. Tell us a little bit about your story and what inspired you to do what you do today.
Yeah. So what really inspired me was a lifetime of mistakes. From those. So let's just be honest and, kind of shed light on that. So I am your quintessential overachiever. I just was born into that mold. And even from an early age, I loved to work. I was the girl that had the lemonade stands, wanted to go to work with my parents, loved, making money. And so I just sort of always had this vision of jumping straight into the workforce and being, this success. And for me, success was right in alignment with working hard, meaning that the more that I did, the more successful I would be. So I wore it like a badge of honor. I would love telling people how busy I was. I would love telling them, oh, I worked a 16-hour day, because if they just knew everything that I was doing, they would know that I was successful. Well, needless to say, living on that life cycle of checking off all the boxes and going for more and pushing myself to the limits led to a complete and total breakdown. When I had actually several of them. My first breakdown was when I was in high school. I was about a junior in high school. And again, it just kind of came crumbling down on me. But, I was a teenager. It's just, they actually noted it as an identity crisis because, what teenager doesn't have an identity crisis? So I pushed through that and moved on, went to college, graduated with 2 degrees in 4 years, jumped right into my career on a high performance real estate team in Boulder, Colorado, and again, kept going there. And then I had another big breakdown when I was about 26. And for me, the moment that I realized something was wrong was when I was driving to work one day and thinking, if I just got into an accident and landed in the hospital for a couple of days, I would actually have some peace and quiet. Yeah, big moment there. But again, it's fine. Have a glass of wine. Well, it'll pass. It's just a moment in time. So I had all these sort of moments that were like, hello, something's, coming, but I didn't listen to them because again, I was having success. So obviously I was doing the right things. And then finally, when I was in my mid-30s, I was a single mom. I was running a large real estate office of almost 180 agents. My marriage had ended. My son was now about 3.5. And I was going and getting my master's degree. So again, check. I thought I was showing up and handling it all like grace and like the fierceness of Wonder Woman, until my son came to me one night and took the phone out of my hand and said, "Mommy, will you please pay attention to me?" Wow. And that was a moment that I couldn't ignore. And for whatever it was, grace, just truth, the truth bomb had to hit. And as I sat there, on the floor, just crying, I really had to start being honest that what I was doing was not working. And all of these things I was working towards actually was taking me further and further away from the person that I truly wanted to be. So that's where I had to finally acknowledge that I had to change, and that this drive for success, this drive for more titles, more money, more accolades, just it wasn't what was really important anymore. So that was sort of my aha moment. And that got me on the path to realize that I had to start redefining success and have to redefine how I was showing up daily.
Amazing. Wow, what a story. That almost brought tears to my eyes. I try to control my emotions when you said, because I have a 5-year-old almost turning 6 and a 2-year-old. And I can only imagine, because there were moments guilty at charge, right?
Mhm.
Like where I'm with them and I had to put a fire out at work, and I'm on the phone. And so that is so real for me
Yeah.
too. So thank you
Yeah,
so
it
much.
was very real. It was very real. He's
Yeah, it was
17
just
now,
like,
and I mean, it still sticks with me, and I still remember that moment clear as day.
yeah. So honestly, that's one of the reasons why I am so in love with the topic that you teach, is that, success comes on so many different levels, and then there are so many definitions, and it's important that we define it for ourselves and
Yeah.
what it means for us and what really matters. So I would be curious, Clara 2.0 now, right? Your new version of yourself and knowing what you know now, what is how would someone start on the journey of defining, her success and what she wants in life?
Yeah, I think just getting very clear on your vision. When you want to sit back and look at, what would a life look like that you were proud of? What's most important to you? What are those core values? And there is no right or wrong, but you need to understand what those core values are for you, because that's what's going to help you start to make the right decisions. So for me, it was very important that I was present with my son when I had him. I shared custody. So to me, that meant, again, reworking my schedule. I could work longer hours on the days that I didn't have him, and then work shorter hours on the days that I did. I had to find strategies to block out distractions so that when I was with him, again, I was truly with him. So it wasn't about being there 24/7, but it was about being present when I needed to be present. So again, that value of family and relationships, I still value hard work. So I had to find ways to be able to say, okay, it's not about the hours, but when I am at work, am I
Yeah.
really showing up? So again, I really just had to get this vision together of what it meant for me, for Clara to live the life that she wanted. It didn't matter what everybody else around me wanted to do. Another thing that I know for me is I need sleep. Sleep is very important to me.
Yes.
So for me, it meant making sure that I was getting 8 hours of sleep. And if that meant that I went to bed at 8:30 so I can get up in the morning at 5, I did that, regardless of who teased me and all of those other items. So you just have to really get clear on your vision. And then you have to start saying no to the things that are going to take you away from making that vision a reality. And you have to let go of the judgment. You have to let go of the comparisonitis of other people, because it doesn't matter. What matters is your life and making sure that it's working for you.
Right. And I'm with you 100%. It's not, and this is so real, to be honest, because that's why I'm inspired for this show particularly, is because, we are so in a culture of go and go, and that we wear that, oh, I work that many hours as a badge of honor, like you said. And the more you work, the more, I guess for me, I felt more important.
Yeah.
Whereas I have always been important, right? Like I matter no matter what, no matter how many hours I work or things like that. So it's a great reminder to really stick with, my values and what I truly believe in. And just like you, Clara, I choose family and connection first.
Yeah.
And so, that means, yes, I get to be present. And so I don't feel guilty when I'm working. And then when I'm with them, I don't feel guilty for not working.
Exactly. And you just have to get to that point where, again, you can just let go and surrender to, this is what's best for me and my situation, and just honor it. And again, it doesn't matter what works for other people. You don't have to justify it. This
Yeah.
is what works.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And this is so real. I want to share with those of you who are moms out there. Literally yesterday, I mean, I had to make a decision between spending an hour to do homework with my daughter or an hour of taking on another call that, yes, was important, but I could also take it the following day or next week.
Exactly.
And then I had to sit with myself and say, wait, she might not need my help next week because we have already passed this lesson, right? Like the realness of it. And maybe, but she needs me right now.
Yeah.
So I can always work. So, it's so real. I know for business owners, especially like myself, who are juggling family responsibilities and business, yeah, it's really important to get clear. So let's talk about that. So
Okay.
Clara, tell us about the clarity in your success system and what's that about. And in addition to that, I know we all have challenges too, right? Like, what is your biggest challenge that you have to overcome to have gotten the clarity that you got to do what you do now with the system that you created?
Well, again, as I was on my path of sort of rediscovering and redefining what success looked like for me, I kind of just made a little play on my name of we all need a little clarity. And that's what I needed is I needed to get clear, but then I also needed to get clear as to what was meant for me, hence the name Clarity. So I'll just break down the model and then we can talk about some of the objections and how it helped me with my challenges. So when you look at the word clarity, CLARATY, the C stands for getting clear again on your vision and your mindset. The L is all about learning how to leverage your time because time is so valuable to us. The A is all about taking the right actions. It's not about doing everything. It's about, again, really getting clear on the few things that we need to do at the highest level. The R is all about the importance of rest and reflection because we can't serve others when we are depleted. The second A is for learning how to articulate your value. We all bring value to the table, and we need to learn that when we understand the value that we bring and how it can help others, the right people will be attracted to us and the right people will come to us. The T is learning how to track and measure because not everything works the way that we think it's going to work. So by tracking the actions that we're doing, by tracking where we're investing our time and measuring the results, we can gain insight and work smarter. And then the Y is for, yes, we have to celebrate. We always wait too long to celebrate. So breaking it down and celebrating daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, so that we can see the progress that we're making. For me, some of the challenges that this really helped me with is time. Time, we all have the same amount of time. Everybody, we all get 168 hours a week. So why is it that some people can get more accomplished than others? It's because they look at time as an investment, just like with money. And that was a really big game changer for me, is looking at where am I investing my time? And I love when you brought up the example of your daughter and the homework. One of the things I really impart on my clients is when they're looking at time and looking at what should I do, having these checks and balances is so important. So a question to ask is, if I choose to do this new thing, what is it that I have to then say no to? So if you chose to work, you would have to say no to helping your daughter with her homework. And then you can start to say, well, does that really make good business sense? Does that really fall in alignment with the vision of my life and my goals? Which clearly it didn't, because you saw the alternative of, you know what, I can actually talk to this client tomorrow. So I think by looking at those things, it's going to really start to make you more in tune to where you are investing your time. Another big obstacle and challenge I had to get over was wanting to help everybody. And I think it's lovely. And I think it's wonderful that we want to help so many people, but that doesn't mean that I'm the right person for everyone, and letting go of that. And what I found is that when I was trying so hard to help everybody, I really wasn't helping anybody the best that I could. So again, going in and not being afraid to niche it down and say, this is really my circle of genius. It's not that you can never help people outside that circle, but again, getting really clear, you're going to show up at a higher level of your truth and really be able to, again, serve at a better level. Also, there's lots of people out there. My circle of genius is in working moms, especially mompreneurs, moms who own their own businesses. It's not that I can't help somebody that doesn't have children. I can, but I am a mom. I went through all of these, so I can speak on a different level. And you know what? There's a lot of mompreneurs out there. So there's enough people for me to serve.
Yes. And I think the biggest, and I still literally just got off the phone with a client right now, just right before we met, was she was having that moment where I said, you have option A,
Mhm.
option B, right? And one, you get to really serve the people that you are meant to serve. Or the other side is you're just really chasing money.
Yeah.
So you choose, right? Is it purpose or profit?
Mhm.
And you get to choose which one is going to, have you sleep better at night. So you get to decide, right? And up to this point, she was only serving her really creative side of things to run a successful business. But now she's so disconnected to her vision of being purposeful. And now it's all about, money for her. And I said, that's perhaps one of the reasons why you haven't hit the level of success that you really wanted, because you are not serving the people you really meant to serve, which is her niche. And just like for me, to be honest, I was the same too. I am again forced to really think, do I want to serve moms? And the question I was trying to shy away from was, no, I want to help everybody. I'm like, no, I want to help moms like myself, because we know the struggle. That's not to say I have men who are clients right now. So that's not to say that I can't help those people, but really the mission is to help working moms, because the challenges are real, like, with this or that, like
Mhm.
my example. So those are so great in terms of how you can make that connection between your challenges, using those challenges and your experiences as now wisdom to help working moms balance and get clear on what they want in life and work smarter. That's so amazing. So I would love to hear more about what is your vision, right? Because you said get connected to your vision, right? What is your vision of moms in business or women in business in general? And how do you think the work that you're doing is contributing to transforming these women's lives?
Mhm. Well, I just think, moms in business, it's such a beautiful thing. And this is just, again, my personal thought is I think we're so strong. And I think, whether you work part-time, full-time, run your own business, and again, it doesn't mean that if you're working inside the home, you're still working. But I think, we also have to think about our role as parents is also to teach our children how to take care of themselves. And when we can show them how we can show up, the strength that we have, think about the messages that we're sending them about what they can accomplish in their life, and letting them know, because life is all about trade-offs. I don't like to use the word balance, but it's about trade-off and working to find that harmony. And, they're going to have to do the same things, whether they decide to have kids or not. They're going to have to learn these things. So I think by showing them, and, I grew up with a working mom, and she taught me so many things about how to, again, communicate better, how to do teamwork with her spouse and her kids, how to set boundaries and say, no, this is not okay with me. And, I think we have so many gifts to be able to offer as working moms. And I think also bringing in that nurturing aspect, it makes us stronger in everything that we're doing. I think we just have a different level of understanding, of empathy, compassion for others, because we know what it's like when you have the home front kind of exploding behind you and you still have to show up. One of the things that I really want to do is I want to make sure that no other working mom is having that moment that I had, where they're on the floor crying, feeling guilty, and feeling like they are unworthy of happiness and success. I don't want that for anybody else. So by sharing the tips and the strategies and the tools that I've developed that I know work, if I can just make it easier for one other working mom, working parent to be able to stand in their truth and to be able to, again, come closer to that harmony and be able to learn to love themselves. I want them to shed the guilt, shed the overwhelm, and, stop teetering on the edge of burnout and realize that they can truly control their time, control their life, and still make money too. It's okay to make money. So those are some of the visions that I have. I just want to be able to impact women on a global level and teach them that they're okay and that they're worthy and that they can have a thriving business as well as a thriving and beautiful personal life too.
Yes, I 100% agree. I love that we're debunking the concept of balance, because I talked about this in the other day, and I was just like, when you're talking about balance, is so unrealistic. I think, especially, just like, how is it balanced where we're working all day because we're off that day, and then we're spending all day with the kids? Like, there's no such thing as balance there, right? But it's all about integration, meaning making sure what works and understanding our capacity. For example, I wish I have 80 hours a week to work, but I don't. I have 30. But it got us so, in our company, so creative and like, wait, if I have 30 hours, how can I multiply that? Does that mean I need more help? How do I delegate? And, and rather than looking at those, this is for the moms and for you guys listening, is like every obstacle is an opportunity. Like for us, it's like, okay, I don't have a lot of time. How can you, like you said, optimize your time and control your time versus like being managed by time? I don't think we can manage time. Time is happening regardless whether.
Exactly. And it's about what you do in those moments. And I love, going back to the idea of balance, so many of us look to, the teeter-totter, the seesaw. And the thing is when it's balanced, it's boring. That's not how it works. It works by going up and down. And that's the harmony of it. It's not, balance doesn't get you anywhere. It's, again, the integration of working together and bringing it together that makes it work and makes it fun. So again, it's not about the hours that we have. It's about how are we investing those and using them to their highest and best use.
100%. Oh my goodness, Clara, I can talk to you all day.
I know.
About all of this. So amazing. So share with us a little bit about how someone can find you and how do you work with them? And then I have a surprise for the audience.
Yes, surprises. We love that. The best place to find me is just go to my website, which is just www.claracapano.com. It's just my name. Also on social media, I'm all over social media. So just search my name and you can find me. I do have a group on Facebook. It's called Smart Women, Smart Choices. And in there, I, do a lot of sharing. I host right now, I have a productivity challenge going on in there. So I have 50 women doing that and guiding them through that with daily tips and strategies to be more purposeful and productive. But you can watch my TV shows, my podcast, you can get access to my books, my articles, and, also look to hire me either to come into your organization, your group as a speaker, or even to help you one-on-one to create your own personalized success plan.
Amazing. And as promised, I want to share a surprise, which is Clara's generous gift to you as the audience. She is offering you guys a free productivity assessment, and that could be found on her website. Again, is www.claracapano.com. So Clara, CLARA, Capano is spelled CAPANO.com. And thank you again so much for your time. I know you are the productivity queen and you chose to be with us in the last 25 minutes. So we truly so appreciate your effort and all that you do, and believing in our mission in helping business women thrive and be successful while raising a happy family. So thank you so much for everything. And we really appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you. And again, a lot of appreciation for you and all the other guests. I know that we're making the world stronger together.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Clara.
Bye.